Hello Syndicate, this is Lord Slayer and you are looking at the Kerbal Space Program. This is a neat little space simulator. Came out not too long ago. It is a beta version, and recent postings from the developers indicate that it is going to go 1.0 soon. However, until it goes 1.0, it's not going to stop us from playing it. Now, it has a couple modes that you can play. There's sandbox mode, where pretty much everything is unlocked. You can do whatever you want, building rocket-wise and going into space and that. Science mode, it's a little more challenging. You can still do pretty much whatever you want. However, you are limited by the parts. To get more parts, you need to perform science missions, earn science in order to unlock better parts, more advanced parts. That will allow you to create more science missions that will get you more points and actually go further beyond Kerbal itself. The final mode is career mode. In career mode, you are going to be more managing a little more of everything. Not only do you have to earn science, you have to complete contracts. These contracts tell you they want you to do this, that you will get this amount of money and this much science in order to complete when you complete that mission or that contract. The contracts can, as you do these contracts, you can get more reputation. This will bring in more contracts. This will bring in more money, which will allow you to update the space center that you're starting from. When you do start in a career mode, it is a most basic space center, and as you advance with the science to get more parts, some of the advanced ships are not going to be able to be used until you update your space center. Today, though, we are going to play the science, and we'll start that right away. And here we are. This is the Space Center, the fully updated Space Center in Science mode. We are greeted by Gene Kerman, who tells us all we want to know about the Science Center here, and the Space Center here. Alright, we've got right here our research development. This is where we will find all the parts. We have our space tracking center here, which will track everything that is currently in orbit, as well as any pieces that have come back. This is the astronaut complex. This is where we can recruit more astronauts as we send them up into space. They are on missions or we misplace them. This is the administration building. Right now it doesn't really do anything for us in science. Neither does mission control. This over here, of course, is our space plane hangar. This is where we can build space planes that will take off from the runway over there and fly either across Kerbal or possibly up into the stars. Out here we have the launch pad. This is where all our missions really kind of start or launch. And finally we have the vehicle assembly building, which is based loosely off of the building that is at the Kennedy Space Center, the NASA VAB building, seen here. Okay, we are going to go into the VAB building because we are going to start to build our first rocket. Now, hello Werner von Kerman. Since we are earning science to unlock various pieces, right now all we've got is a command pod, we've got a fuel tank, we've got a liquid fuel engine, we've got a solid rocket booster, we have command and control, we have structural girder, no aerodynamics, we have a parachute, and we have an antenna. Now, I am using a couple mods, the Kethane mod, I have the N.E.A.R mod, not the FAR mod, and a few other pieces that will pop in here. Not very many. The N.E.A.R mod will affect how the aerodynamics of the ship respond versus the basic game. I do not know at this point how 1.0 will be affected by mods or if they will have any. according to the 1.0, they will be changing the aerodynamics in that. Anyway, we're going to start off with the basic pod here, and because we don't really have much unlocked, we are going to take that and we're going to launch. I know what you're all thinking. Why did I decide to launch with just the capsule? Well, again, we are in science mode. We need to earn science. So by us sitting here, we can get a crew report, and right here is 1.5 science. We're going to keep that data. Alright, we are going to go on an EVA. And here's Jebediah Kerman walking along the launch pad, and he's going to do an EVA report. Hey, there's 2.4 science. We're going to keep that data. Let's also take a surface sample. That's going to give us 9 science right there. Now, one thing to notice here, you have the keep data, you have the transmit data. If you decide to keep the data, all of that will be science right there will be available once you recover the craft. If you transmit the data, you are only getting less science versus if you recover it. Okay. Basically, in some cases, transmitting the data, yes, you will send data, you will earn science. Recovery, you will always earn more science because you're bringing the object back versus just transmitting, here's what happened. Sometimes it's easier to actually see it and touch it versus going by what somebody has said. So now that we've taken our surface sample, now that we have done our EVA and we've got a crew report, we're going to walk back here to the capsule, grab on, get on board, and recover. Alright, we have been recovered from the launch pad, and as you can see, crew report from the launch pad, that got us 1.5 science. Surface sample from the launch pad got us 9 science. EVA report from the launch pad, that got us 2.4 science for a grand total of 12.9 science, or they round down, 12 science. So now, and we got Jebediah back, we can go here to the research center. Basic rocketry, that takes 5 science to unlock. It gives us another couple of fuel tanks plus mystery goo and a stacked decoupler. So we're going to research that. Hey, we've now got the basic rocketry. This now unlocks 3 more possibilities. We can go to general rocketry, that's 20 science. There's stability, that has 18 science. And then finally we have survivability. Gets us another rocket engine, some landing struts, and the radial mounted parachute. That's 15 science. So we're at 7.9 now. We need to earn more science to unlock these. So back to the VAB. Alright, we've got our little capsule here. We are now going to send this up into the sky. So we're going to add a parachute. We could add this antenna. The problem is this takes electricity to transmit out the data. As you use that electricity, the capsule is going to lose power because we only have so much electric charge here. And to transmit, that's going to use probably about 30, 35, up to 40 of this electrical charge. Leaves us very little left for the reaction wheels in here that control it. So on the one hand, transmitting is great, but on the other hand, it's going to use electricity that you cannot replace at this time. The only point we're going to be able to replace the electricity that we use is when we have extra batteries, but those still discharge. So then we hopefully will end up getting the solar panels, which will then take energy from the sun and make electricity and recharge our capsule. It's gonna suck if you run out of electricity with your capsule in space and you cannot maneuver it to bring it back. And mind you, we don't have RCS yet either. So anyway, we are going to put, where is it? There, a solid rocket booster on there. Now we are not putting on, actually, yeah, I think we'll do that. Put the booster to the side. There was the, there's the stacked decoupler. Alright, so now what's going to happen is the engine will fire. After it's done, we're going to decouple and parachute back to Kermit. And, you know, for heck of it, let's put the science goo on here. Actually, we're going to put 2 on because balance is very important, and since we don't have much here, you know, it'll wobble to the one side or the other. Alright, launch. Alright, here we are on the launch pad, and we've got our spacecraft. We've got goo on either side. We've got Jebediah Kerman in the capsule. We have a parachute. Just in case, we're going to open that at about 1,000 feet. And we can actually open up and observe goo right now. And we got 3 science right there just from looking at the goo on the platform. So let's just keep that data for that one. Really, the throttle right here isn't going to do much for us because this is a solid rocket booster. Solid rocket boosters, once you fire them, they cannot be throttled. They cannot be put out or stopped or cut off. You are in for the duration. So we will turn on the SAS. That will help keep us reasonably stable with the reaction wheels. Matter of fact, where is scoot you over there? Like I said, there's, okay, lock position. Okay, here's our fuel. We want to watch that electrical charge because as the SAS works, it's going to suck up that electrical charge. Monopropellant, we don't have an RCS to use the monopropellant. Solid fuel, that is obviously this right here. So, I guess that's Kerbin for let's get the hell out of here. So, in 3, 2, 1. We'll now observe the goo here as we go, and it says it's jiggling and wobbling as we fly, so we're going to keep that data. And oh, we have flames. Alright, we are actually going to end up pretty far out into orbit here, so we're actually going to get pretty far up. I think we're just going to cruise on out here. Okay, that music signifies that we have entered space. And we're going to get up to the top of the, what is it, the Aposis. Okay, now that we're there, we are going to go back here and talk to crew report. Very round. Thank you for that wonderful information. We could theoretically do an EVA, but he might float away from the capsule. That would be bad. Reaction wheels say not enough electricity. Why is there not enough electricity? You still have plenty of power. Okay, well, we're going to ignore that for now. Put us in a retrograde. And there we go. That's going to float off. You should see. There's the debris, and if we click that, it's gonna roughly fall with us. And out of curiosity, what's this goo say? That says 3. It's not doing right now. So let's reset the goo and Goo is now 15 science. That's much better than what we were getting before. Review goo data, that's 7 science. Let's reset goo. Hey, that's also 15. We just earned possibly 30 science just there. Alright, we are beginning to fall back to Kerbin. Our SAS is struggling here to try and get us into a retrograde. And as you can see, the electricity is going out, and gone. Now, as you can see, it's no longer struggling to maintain control, and now we're just kind of free-floating. We no longer have the ability to control the capsule. We are along for the ride. So we're going to begin approaching back to Kerbin here. I lost sight of, there it is. That's our rocket over there. Obviously it's floating further away from us. However, it's falling at the same velocity, so that's why the distance is not slowly increasing. That is now destroyed. It impacted somewhere over there. We're now re-entering. Oh, I want to deploy that a bit higher than. Whew. All right. Second thing to note when parachuting back. Sometimes you're going to end up in places you don't expect to be, such as the mountains. And if you do not have your parachute set correctly, like we just kind of did, had we left it at the original 500 meters, we are much higher than there's a space center out there. We are much higher than the 500 meters. These mountains are higher than the 500 meters we were originally set at. So, in fact, our 1,000 meters might not have even been enough. So I'm speeding it up. As you can see, these are at least 6,000 meters high. Wow. And we are now falling amongst the mountains. Come on, I can't make you go any faster. Alright, we are now approaching landing, and... Oh, that is... Okay, there goes the goo. Oh. Well, we might have had 30, however, we've lost one of the goo containers. That's not good. And we've slightly rolled down the mountain. That's also not good, but it was very entertaining. We are going to send out our Kerbal on EVA. Oh, that might have possibly been a reason. Oh. Anyway, EVA report. Hey, 2.4 science, and we're going to take a sample. That's 9 science. We might have lost our 15 science, but we've gained some, and we're going to board and recover the vessel. So, let's see here. There's the goo, 15 science. We didn't save the second 15 science. That one exploded. We did recover a vessel from a suborbital flight. That's 8 science. We've got a report from Kerbal Mountains, 2.4. We've got a surface sample from the mountains of 9. And we've got the crew report while in space high over Kerbin, 7.5. That earned us 41.9 science for a grand total of 49 science. And Jebediah survived. So now we can go to research and we can unlock survivability, and we can unlock, what else do we want out there? We can unlock, it will give this nose cap. Or do we want more rockets? We got one or the other. Let's go with rocketry. And now we're at 14. Now we have to earn 4 more science in order to unlock stability. Meanwhile, now eventually available will be advanced rocketry, which is more rockets and a fuel tank. General construction, which provides us with some of the Kethane stuff. There's a strut, there's a radio decoupler, there's the launch stability enhancer, which means as we build the bigger rockets, we can put this up and the rocket will not fall over. We've also got the stack tri-coupler. There's some flight control stuff here, including a reaction wheel, elevon, a winglet, a wing, the Stay-Putnik, which allows for the building of probes. We've also got more science. There's our battery. There's Science Junior, and a new antenna that it'll transmit, uses more power, means more batteries will have to be put on. And there's this other stuff from the add-ons, the camera, the Kethane detector, and the altimetry sensor. So anyway, that will wrap us up for now. Hopefully we'll have another point where we can bring something up here or do another video if there's enough interest. And we'll see you next time. This is Lord Slayer with the Villain Syndicate, signing out.